All right, Matthew de Klerk, we are back in the remote Hippo studios, which are split between a moon rover on. Can you have a moon rover on Mars? I guess
Yeah,
it's the
you
Mars
do.
lander.
I mean, I'm just in my kitchen, but
okay, that's fine.
You're on
I'm on Mars though, in a lunar lander. I don't know if you can say that, but we're sticking it out here with Hippo Education.
It's a Martian lander, by the way. Martian.
Thank you. It's not a lunar lander. That means moon.
That would be the moon, unless you're going to one of the moons of Mars. But yeah,
It's getting too
deep.
complicated. The costly misinformation. We're doing EP Monthly, obviously, for September 2021, and this article is by our friend William Sullivan, DOJD, and it's called "Costly Misinformation." And it's kind of it's poking at some sensitive spots about the world, and how are we supposed to look at differing scientific questions, especially when science gets a little political. Are we allowed to talk about things that may or may not be effective now that everybody's on Facebook? And once you say like, olive oil can cure cancer, then everybody just goes by olive oil. Like, what's our responsibility in there to question things versus to not put out the wrong vibe to public health? I don't know.
And William surprised me because when you read this article, the title, you're like, the cost of misinformation. And immediately my brain's like, yeah, I know the cost of misinformation. It's we're in a second surge and a bunch of people died. But he actually flips it. He takes it to the other side. And there's two sides to every argument, obviously. But he takes it in terms of, hey, we got to be cautious in terms of silencing those that are giving out misinformation. And it's a fact. They're going to get the most letters next month from this one, I think, because there's arguments to both sides. And I do think as healthcare providers, we do have a responsibility to not put out misinformation while we still have to stand up for science, understanding that it's messy and that it needs to be questioned and poked at. And so, it was a real thought-provoking article for me.
Yeah, me too. I think there's, as I've said, I think probably here before, because all this politics strikes me as unnecessarily black and white. People really want to be on one side or the other. I'm not saying Bill necessarily is on one side or the other, but the tendency is like, I think I figured it out, I'm going to be here, which then sets you up for a bunch of cognitive bias and a slew of other things. So yeah, it's true. We should definitely not be squashing people asking questions about science, because the scientific method is kind of like one of the most perfect things we've ever come up with. But science in general can be wrong or fraudulent or whatever. So I get that. And so it's really important to, we certainly don't want some sort of authoritarian, lockdown on people's opinions. At the same time, once you say hydroxychloroquine and it goes through somebody at a pulpit, you can hurt people. And so very interesting. Yeah, very thought-provoking, this one. So it's worth a read.
I'm looking forward to the letters.
Yeah, very good. We'll see that next month. All right, Dr. Sullivan, well done.